Etherpad is a free open-source word processing website that enables quick and easy real-time collaboration like Google Docs. Unlike Google Docs, however, you don't need to set up an account or manage permissions. Etherpad is a powerful tool to help students practice English. While easy to use, there is a learning curve to incorporating Etherpad into your teaching workflow. In this short tutorial, we'll cover a simple 3-step process for creating, managing, and sharing Etherpads with students.
If you'll be using Etherpad more than once, it's a good idea to first create a master pad. This is a single Etherpad that you can use to manage all the pads you create for each class and activity. You only need to make this document once. It provides a home base to keep track of the pads you create across different lessons in the semester and your different classes. It also facilitates the creation of new pads and serves as a backup if something goes wrong.
To create your master pad, first go to pad.riseup.net and change the lifespan to 1 year, then click OK to create a new Etherpad. Setting the lifespan of the pad to 1 year is important if you want to keep using it during the school year. Your new pad will have a URL of pad.riseup.net and then a string of random looking characters followed by a -keep. Since everyone who has a link can see and edit a pad, the random characters serve as a kind of security so that only people you want to find it can access the pad. The keep at the end tells the RiseUp service to keep your pad for 1 year after the last edit is made. To make your master pad easier to identify and manage, you may want to further customize the pad URL by adding some description to the pad's address before the final -keep. For example, you could add .yourname.year.master. Alternatively, you can add this identifying information at the beginning when you first create the pad. Just type the info in here at the end of the random characters. As you can see, your pad now contains this identifying information. Again, being able to rename Etherpads is an important skill for tracking and managing them.
Remember that if you want your pad to last more than 60 days after the last edit is made, you need the -keep at the end of the URL. This is particularly important for these master pads, as they may not be edited as frequently as the pads that you share with your students. Next, delete the default text and organize the pad as you like. For example, you can create sections for each class, and within those subsections for each activity, something like this.
Finally, bookmark the page for ease of future access.
After creating your master pad, the next step is to create pads that your students will use in class. We usually create one for each student group in our classes. Begin by copying the URL of your master pad and pasting it into the correct section, like this. Then, edit the end of the URL to reflect the class name, date, and group number, signified for now by an X. Next, copy and paste this URL as many times as needed. For example, if you need 10 groups, make 10 pads by pasting the link 10 times. Finally, change the X at the end of each pad URL with a group number. At this point, your master pad will look something like this.
Now that you've created the individual group pads, the next step is to create a template of the activity's text. Right-click on the Group 1 pad and open it in another browser tab. Edit the default text as needed. This will become a template for all the other pads. Copy all of the activity text on the Group 1 pad. Then, back in your master pad, right-click on the Group 2 pad and open it in another tab. Paste the activity into this document. Repeat this process until the activity text has been pasted into all the group pads. Finally, go back through each pad and check everything is okay. You may want to make a few edits as needed. For example, you could indicate the group number by replacing the X, typing in that group's assigned topic, or maybe giving a model answer or two.
The final step is to share the pads with your students. There are several ways to do this. You can share the links using Etherpad as follows.
Simply copy the links to all of the group activity pads and paste them into a new Etherpad. You can then share a single link with your students to all of the pads for a particular class activity.
You can also copy and paste links to a class website, such as Moodle or another LMS. You can also post the links to a shared document, like a Google Doc or a Word file in a shared class folder that everyone can access. If you're teaching online, you can share pad links in the chat. Finally, another idea is to use a QR code generator to make a JPEG QR code image to a master list of pad links. Project this image to the screen and have students access the document via their phones.
So, there you go, a simple 3-step process for creating, managing, and sharing Etherpads with your students for classroom-based language practice activities. With a bit of practice, you'll soon pick up the basics and discover a myriad of uses for supporting learning via this simple, accessible, and powerful tool.